Now, before we move into the Zoom, I'd like to ask us the advantage of this county, Ndian, demographically, because we'll talk about Boyo, but let's begin with Ndian. We started by talking on many different things, bread basket, but I'm talking about the war. The war we're fighting right now. It's true that the situation there is not what it used to be, but there is some evolution and there are some strategic changes. When you look at the Ambazonian strategic plan on the home front to fight this war, what would you say Indian is? Let's start with you, Mbeseha.
Yes, Paddy, I believe that after the coup plotters did what they did and decimated the political structures of Ndian, but the fighters, in spite of what happened at that time, the complicity of some of the coup plotters who took out the military leader, apart from that, the boys in Ndian are still fighting in the creeks. The only problem Ndian has is communication. There are no internet in all of Indian forests and in the creeks. So they are unable to communicate. But the boys and girls are still doing what the others are doing in other counties. Dian Dian is still very active, and all of us must make sure we make the available the means for them to protect themselves. We must do that because they have a right to defend themselves. The Cameroon army or what they call the Cameroon navy keeps harassing them, but they cannot enter the creeks to meet them because those those boys and girls control the creeks. And I remember sometime they had a fight with some gendarmes, and we didn't know anything about it until we learned that about a couple of gendarmes were taken out. We don't know how many of our boys were taken out, but that's war for you. You fight whoever is fighting you, and that is normal in war. But our people in Dian deserve support because the boys and girls are still on the ground fighting the enemy. That is all I know about Indian as far as this revolution is concerned. We don't have anybody politically to present to people that these are the officials of Indian county or this and that. We don't. Let's not kid ourselves. But the fighting on the ground, look at what they did in the Kondo Titi. They took out the exploitative system that La Republic put there to collect taxes, to collect custom duty, and they took and they burned down that whole place in a fight with La Republic soldiers. That is a job that was done when the political leaders were no longer there. We are saying that let nobody think that the Indian people have given up the struggle. No, they are still fighting, and we need to support them. Thank you.
Amazing. Mbeseha.
Well, I think Indian is so peculiar because we have just said in the last segment, Indian is the bread basket of Cameroon. That is where that's the last place Cameroon will live. They will hang on to everything in Amazonia, die everywhere, but they will hang on to Indian for using that the best. Because
Correct.
without Indian, Paul Biya will not even be there. Without Indian, Brenda will not be sitting somewhere in Switzerland in a hotel enjoying herself. Without Indian, all those foreign bank accounts will not be there. Without Indian, there will be no Glencore and so on and so forth. So we just understand that people are going to try to undermine us. Even if it's on India, you say we're drafting all around. But people must know this. This is my view. If there's no fighter in Ndian, if there's no fighter in Fako, we will create fighters there to liberate those two areas. Because those are the two geographical areas that Yaoundé will want to hang on to death. Those are the two geographical areas that caused the UK to sell us to France. For how many million pounds? They know. They knew the value of it. Those are the two geographical areas for which France will not want to go away. And so what everything is going there, going on in Ndian, going on in Fako, is a tip of the iceberg. They are still doubling down. And shall we let go? No, we shall not let go. We shall defend Ndian. Even if it means abandoning other countries, we shall defend Ndian to the last man standing because of its importance. We've talked about oil and all those sort of things. There are also many important things in Ndian, some that have not been mentioned. You know that Ndian is home to the Coral Reserve Forest. The Coral Reserve Forest is a forest with rare medicinal plants in the world. They're there. When it started, they got some cure from there. And so Ndian, without roads, Ndian, without schools, Ndian, without hospital, remains the most important thing that we must fight for. Is it design that they don't get the hospitals? Maybe design. Maybe they just wanted to deflect attention. Now nobody should think that this is even worth anything. That's why they fought for Bakassi. That's why they went into the Green Tree Agreement, just to keep Ndian, and so on and so forth. That's why Nigeria fought the war to keep Bakassi, which was Ndian, because of the importance of the area. So we have all these natural barriers that are hanging on us. And then those people don't go unnoticed. They will find in Ndian and among Ndian people collaborators. They will always be there. That's natural. They will find people who cooperate knowingly or unknowingly. They will be there. And so we don't underestimate that. But that should not dissuade us. We should be encouraged. If anything, we must draft from Ndian. As I've just said, if we don't have fighters in Ndian, we will create them. But we are there. We have fighters there right now. But if they are no longer there, we will create them and liberate Ndian at all costs, at any time. That's the reason why we fight. That's why we draft Ndian today. That's why we will draft Ndian tomorrow. That's why we're fighting for liberation. Over to you.
After this music break, we're going to talk briefly about Boyo, and we'll hand over the mic and the Zoom. Stay tuned.
Yes, entertainment.
Why them with another one? If you get the money, make you help your brother. If you know thank God, you go and I forgot. Brother make you find work, or you remain the suffer. Only my hand, you, we make come together. If I do you bad, oh, if I do you good, if I promise and fail you, if I do you good, man I am young, tell me Jenny come on. In a bunke, bunny come on. Man I am young, yummy tangy come on. In a chumke, tell me come on, tell me come on. Anywhere you dey, make you live your life, yo, oh, live your life. Anywhere you dey, say make you show the light, yo, oh, show the light. If you get the money, make you help your brother. If you know thank God, you go and I forgot. Brother make you find work, or you remain the suffer. Only my hand, yo,
So welcome back. That was an amazing one right there. Baisafru, please. Boyo
Yes,
is waiting. Please talk to us.
Boyo, Boyo is a very, very, very important county in the southern Cameroon. Its culture is one of the best in the northern zone. They have a very strong chieftaincy organization. The fund of Com is one of the first class funds of the northern zone. Boyo has a very strong agricultural base, especially coffee. Some of the best Arabica come from Com. A lot of good coffee comes from Com. And Com in those days used to export a lot of coffee. And I want to add that the Catholic Church is well implanted in Com, and almost 80 to 90% of Com people are Catholics. They are God fearing, but they defend their land. They are people of deep principles. The Right Honorable Augustine Gomjoa came from Com, and you know how he handled the post of Prime Minister in the days of the colonial La République du Cameroon beginnings, Ahijo and Bea. Look, if there is no way that we cannot rank Com at least as one of the most productive and one of the most aspiring counties in the Federal Republic of Ambazonia. They have shown that they can defend themselves. One of the best hospitals for burn treatment is Mbingo, and it is in Boyo, and it has stood the test of time. There have been cases where people have attempted to do, La Republic has attempted, but with the soldiers to enter that hospital and destroy it, and it has not worked. The people of Com are resilient, and they are ready to defend themselves, and we must give them the aid, the help they need to defend themselves against the enemy. Because the enemy goes where they feel that they can get something, and Com is one of those places. That is why I'm calling on all Ambazonians to draft for Com today. If you are drafting for Ndian, know that you have to draft for Com. I call it Com, but the actual name is Boyo. I'm calling it Com being the name that everybody in the northern zone knows about Com, about Boyo. They are Com people, and they are tied together. Their culture is resilient. The culture is one of the best in the northern zone. Thank you, Paddy. Let's get going.
By Mbeseha, real quickly so that we can move forward.
Yes, we're talking about Boyo. As I saw, I said quite a lot. But Boyo, we can remember we've just talked about Bobby Njua, is from Boyo. And by Sanso has taken it further to say they are good Christians. They did not confine themselves to Catholic Christianity. But in terms of Catholic Christianity, they have produced one of the 26 bishops in Cameroon. Bishop Nkwo of Kumbo is from Com. But then there's a lot more. But Sanso talk about Bingo. Bingo is not a Catholic hospital. It is a Baptist. It shows how open-handed the people are. But Bingo has become a household name, not because you go to Bingo. They have exported their services. As if you go to Motenge today, far away in Fako, you find Bingo Annex. You go somewhere in Douala, you find bingo and next. So these are not people, this is not a place who can let out. Again, they are a center of cultural revival, which goes beyond Cameroon. It goes beyond Africa. Lest we forget this story of Afo Akom that was carried away by the white man to foreign land. Nobody knew it would ever come back. Afo Akom came back to Cameroon, Ambazonia, and came back to come. It is living right there. We would not have come back without the cooperation of foreign partners. We would not have received it without the cooperation of other Ambazonians. And so that is important for us to know the importance of Boyo. Boyo is a name newly created, but as Mr. So says, they are basically called the Com people. I think the founder of Com is one of those who have stood the test of time during these 7, 9 years of struggle. He's been cited as being an upright guy. He defends his people, he defends the tradition, he defends the cause that all of us stand for. Is there any reason why we should not go and join them? Is there any reason why we should not join to draft them, to draft for them, to get them out, give them their own share of the independence, and send away the enemy packing? For no piece of Ambazonia will left behind, not to talk about Boyo. No piece of Ambazonia will left behind, not to talk about Ndian or any other county. So I call on all of us to draft, open pockets, deeper yarns, give the widows what might. Let us draft Ndian and Boyo because they are one in several. They are divided geographically, but they are one in spirit. Over to you.
Yes, I'm calling
Afua
all those
come
who are
with
watching us. I'm calling on all those who are watching us via our social media platforms right now on YouTube and on Facebook to join the Zoom meeting so that the program of tonight can actually begin. If you have not shared the Zoom link, just invite somebody to invite somebody. We'll take this break once again and we'll be handing over the microphone to the officials of Boyo and Dian. Remember, Dian is not just the breadbasket of Ambazonia. It's a remarkable day. It is the home village of the first lady of Ambazonia. That's President Sarko's wife. Also remember, when you talk about history, you talk about the Augustine Gomjwa, you're talking about Boyo. So it's an important, when you think about Boyo, you think about history. When you think about Jian, you think about the breadbasket and the first lady of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia. We will be handing over the mic to those organizers in this room.